Hi, everyone. This is Jess with Whispers of Grace Healing. Hey, Caitlin. I'm so glad to see y'all. I really hope that my internet will keep stable tonight, but I really wanted to try and get on and at least try to get on and connect with y'all. It's been so long, and the internet's kind of wonky, so I can't guarantee, but I am here nevertheless. I just really, really miss you guys. Hey, Ashley, Cynthia, Lachey, what up, y'all? I know I'm a few minutes early, so I'm going to give it a few minutes for everyone to join in. Hey, Danny. Listen, and so this is another reason why I kind of named this like Tarot and Chill, because I really just want to take some time to connect with y'all. It's been a while and I miss like actually talking to y'all. But I'm just kind of curious. Hi, Jamie. Yes, it really is, Danny. I miss going live so much. Like, this is my way of connecting to my tribe, like energetically at one time, instead of like reaching out to everyone on an individual basis. And I know too, especially a lot of my tribe members that are used to me communicating more often, like I've just been in hermit mode, going through my own thing, like really trying to get my energy right. And there's been so much to process, and like just going through my individual process as well as doing the collective work. Girl's exhausted. Okay. Hey, Christina. Yes. So, eh, and yeah, hey, Nate, I'll actually get into that in just a second. So for anyone who is new, thank you for being here. I'm really excited to see some new faces in the chat. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take a few minutes. Like, this is really like a hangout thing that we usually do on Wednesdays. It hasn't happened in a while. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Christina G. But I really wanted to take just a few minutes for us to kind of go over what's been happening in the collective. What are signs, synchronicities? What are some things that have been up for the collective? Then we'll actually do our opening ceremony. We're going to pull a collective message. Then we're going to do VIPs. This is a whole thing that we do. Okay. So once we do the collective message, which is for everyone, if you're drawn to this channel, if you're drawn to this video, then I'm sure there is a message in there for you somewhere. But after that, then we go into the VIPs. So VIP is a $20 donation, and this puts you on a list. As I receive your donation, your name will go on the list in order. And once we get through those, I will pull free one-card pulls. They are not guaranteed, but either way, there are a lot of good messages and information that always come out in these videos. So hopefully you will gain something from it, regardless if you get a card pulled or not. But even with the one card pulls, I go for who I am drawn to. I can't pull a card for everyone, and if Spirit doesn't have a message for you, then there's no point in exerting that energy. Maybe next time. But yeah, hey, Caitlin. So okay, so there's obviously, we got 14 people in the room. Thank you everyone for being here. I want to go over just a few things that I've noticed within the collective that has been going on. And I will say that a lot of it, and it's so funny, so funny, the conversations that have been going on today. I was actually told, because I'm going through a lot of processes and a lot of past life stuff is coming up. Okay. Hey, Jazz. So like, I really want everyone to just kind of take inventory right now. Really pay attention to themes that seem to be reoccurring in your life. Okay. And if, especially within the last few weeks to, I would say, the last month or two, if you've been going through what seems to be like a purge, right? Like we were having a lot of negative emotions and things come up. There's a lot of things that are making us uncomfortable, and situations that are mirroring the situation or the experience that reflects this feeling deep inside of us, right? It usually takes us back to this feeling, even if we don't really know where or why we have that trigger or why we have that emotional reaction to what's actually happening. Some of that can be stemmed from past lives. And it's actually a lot of the karma that we have picked up, not only from our own behaviors, our own actions, and our choices, but from especially a lot of the people who are drawn to me that are more of the healers and the light workers. A lot of us end up carrying other people's karma. So that's another big thing that's coming up, is like, especially if you have strong person syndrome, if you have the fixer slash saver syndrome, where you're constantly putting your needs, your well-being at the back of the list and trying to exert yourself and trying to save everyone, you might find yourself having like projects, being drawn to people who need saving, that kind of thing. And so what ends up happening is we end up picking up a lot of this energetic baggage and letting people walk all over us. We end up usually feeling taken advantage of. We don't really feel seen, heard, understood. A lot of people might be drawn to you, but a lot of people will come in and out of your life throughout your experience. And each person, especially as a role as a healer or, you know, a sensitive, an empath, we end up taking on things that we know are suffocating or dimming our light in order to feel like we're being in service, or and feeling the need to be needed, right? And that's a big underlying issue for a lot of us. But that karma, that baggage, and these cycles that continue. So whether you're, you know, tend to find yourself in really toxic or unhealthy dynamics when it comes to friends, family, or, you know, romantic relationships, or if you find yourself you know, going after something like a career that you've always wanted, but every time you try to dip your toe in that pond, that it's like, you know, it's either a toxic working environment, or you just have this boss that won't let you flourish. It's like things that are keeping you bound and not giving you the room to expand. All these things are coming up to be transmuted so you can make the conscious choice to redirect that energy into a more positive flow of intention. Okay. And if you see these cycles, like one cycle came up for me and spirit brought me back to a memory on Facebook where I said pretty much the exact same thing 10 years ago. And I know that I had been dealing with it way before then. It's like, okay, the cycle ends now. The cycle ends now. So this is a really, really important time that if you see any karmic cycles, whether that is self-sabotage, limited thinking, really unhealthy coping mechanisms, whether it is making conscious choices, knowing damn well you shouldn't be going there, you know, like been there, done that, and yet I keep making the choice to be putting myself in that situation, those kind of things. All of this is coming up so you can make the conscious decision. You have the tools, you've learned, you've experienced, you know what feels good, what feels whole, what feels supportive. If it is causing havoc, if it is causing so much resistance, then you have to look at it for what it's worth and understand that if we continue to hold on to things that are trying to move out of our life, if we're trying to put a spin on it because we want a different expectation than what we are seeing is the possible outcome, yet we stay in a situation that is consistently being shown as not healthy for us, then that is where the karmic cycle comes into play. And it's really, really important that you take the necessary steps that you are being guided to take so that you can switch the energy into the path of least resistance. Once you make a conscious choice, when you make that choice for yourself, you're going to feel so much weight come off of you. Okay. So, hey, Michelle. But yeah, so that's some things that I've been noticing. Now, emotional, physical, lack of energy, tired muscles, brain fog, itchy skin, like skin irritation, overwhelming highs and lows of emotions. A lot of people are being faced with triggers on a daily basis, and it can change drastically throughout the day. A lot of people are, and you'll notice more too, especially for those who have psychic abilities and this kind of thing. The more you release, then the more space you open up to receive the messages that you need. So you'll notice that as you start making those conscious decisions and taking the necessary actions to switch that energy up, then you'll start receiving more signs. Things will become more clear. More opportunities are going to drop into your path. And it's instead of placing the focus on something that is not in alignment with your highest good, by saying, I make the choice, I know this is not serving me, I wish it well, peace be with you, what door do I need to walk through? And opportunities start dropping in your lap. Okay. So, hey, Heather. But yeah, all of these things are things that I have noticed. A lot of people are just feeling tired, drained, not really sure. And listen, you have to give yourself time to integrate. Okay. So if you're going through all these triggers, you're going through all these emotions, and you're working through this process, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? What does it remind me of? What am I holding on to? Like, all these questions, ask the right questions, guys. So when you ask the right questions, then it helps you dig a little deeper to get to that root issue. Then you can do whatever you need to do, whether it's forgiveness, if it's understanding, if it's compassion, and whether that's towards yourself or others. Like, and I did a video, when was that? Last week, where it was like, I was angry at myself because I knew better, and I had to forgive myself for falling back into that emotional trap. And that seems to be a big theme, emotional traps that we end up setting for ourselves. And we're like, well, maybe it'll be different this time, but yet it's not. It's always the same thing. So those are just a few things that I've noticed. And is there anything else? Oh, time, like time loops, jumping timelines. This has been a very big thing. You might even, like, you might swear that you had a conversation with someone, and in this reality, it didn't actually happen. But you might, like, I was having a conversation with several friends today, and we're like, are we sure we didn't have this conversation? And it happens all the time with us, where we'll be bringing something up and it triggers this memory or this knowing, and we're like, I'm pretty sure we've been here, done that, we've had this conversation, but we really didn't. And so these timelines are actually interlapping each other, and it will cause a little bit of confusion at first, but y'all just need to roll with it. Okay. So, but the timelines are getting, the veil is thinning. Okay. And it's getting to that point where certain timelines are matching up with each other and intersecting so that you can gain the information and the knowledge that you need in order to make certain decisions in your life. Now, with that being said, it also brings up a lot of knowingness depending on how deep y'all are going. Because listen, girl gets deep here. We end up going through all these rabbit holes that will lead you. So if you have a feeling or just an inkling that maybe you did this in a former life, or maybe you're drawn to something that's really pulling you in and you're not sure why, like, sometimes it's really good to have these conversations with people that you can trust, because the chances that someone is on that same energetic frequency might be experiencing the same thing and can give you the confirmation that you're looking for. That's all I'm saying. And if they don't, that's okay too. But I find that it's really good to have these people to talk to so that you can not only have the confirmation, but the conversation ends up bringing up more information and putting more of the pieces of the puzzle together. So just to take that in consideration. So anyway, but yeah, is there anything that y'all have been experiencing that I have not mentioned that maybe people might need to be aware of? Yeah, Heather, my ears have been ringing like crazy today. So just for anyone who doesn't know, the ringing of the ears, a lot of people actually place this off as some sort of thing. And what it actually is happening is your frequency is changing. So because okay, so we're here in the 3D physical plane. When you start opening up to these higher vibrations, it's actually your energy trying to calibrate with the energies that are trying to come in. So it comes in as ringing. So that can be a sign that you're receiving messages, you're receiving an energy upgrade, that you're opening up to spirit. All of those things can come into play when you start having the ringing in your ears. And usually it's a very high pitch, like bing. And sometimes it can last a few seconds, sometimes it can last up to a minute. But usually it's when you hear some sort of truth that's like, yes. And then something pops. So, all right. So no one wants to comment. Anything else that I have not discussed that maybe we need to? If not, I'm going to go ahead and start with our collective message and